Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. It's an absolutely miserable day outside where I am, so I thought I'd stay home and make a video where it's nice and warm. Anyways, I thought I'd make a video to help you guys improve your aim and gunplay a little bit in Rainbow Six Siege, since it's vastly different to every other FPS, and I don't feel that your gun skills in other games carry over very well to Siege. Okay, to start us off is Crosshair Placement. Now this is very simple, but it's still something I see people mess up. What people tend to do, and I notice it a lot, is walk around aiming at the lower half of their screen and not the middle, essentially the floor. Why is this bad, you may ask? Well, if you want to pull off a quick headshot without having to adjust your aim too much, you want to have your gun aimed close to their heads as possible, so that's why you want to aim in the middle, just a little bit above the middle of the screen. Getting this down is the hard part and is incredibly valuable to do, especially when picking corners or returning fire at somebody who is behind cover and only revealing their head. Something I found that helped me a lot with crosshair placement was to fire at a spot when someone was peeking at me, where their head was when they peeked the corner, and just keep my gun aimed at that spot so I could use it as a point of reference. And after a while it became muscle memory and I can aim automatically at their heads without having to adjust my aim too much. Now I can't do it perfectly, but I could do it a lot better after consciously making myself aim at their head over and over again. I'm not exactly Kickstar and I can't run into a room and just pick off 4 or 5 people easily with headshots without much struggle. If you want, you could also go into a custom game with a friend and figure out, well, not figure out where their head is, but get used to aiming at their head in like some scenarios you and your mate could make up, I guess. But I honestly would just say playing games against players over and over again will help you the most. Since I just spoke about crosshair placement, I feel like pre-firing is the best thing to mention next. Now, pre-firing is exactly what it sounds like, and something you should start doing if you're not doing it already, because if done right, you can kill an enemy before they even know you're there. This is best done when you know someone has made a peek hole and you keep looking into it, or they keep looking into it, or they're at a window and they consider vaulting in or out. What you want to do is watch said window or peek hole and tap fire at it, and half the time they'll walk straight into your bullets and you'll get a cheeky headshot. Quick peeking is a more aggressive way of challenging someone who is holding an angle and has favourable cover. So for example, you're pushing into admin office on consulate from the left hallway and Jaeger has a shield in the back corner and is literally just peeked between the shield and the desk. So instead of standing there trying to just spray your whole mag at him and hoping that a bullet will just ping him in the head, what you want to do is strafe left and right, essentially walking left and right and firing a burst off each time your gun lines up with where his head is. Doing this is way more effective than actually just standing there, like I said, and just pelting bullets at the shield. He's more likely to kill you than you are him, because he can see more of you and you can see less of him.
Actually, Dan, that might have come from up there.
No, it was the foundation shaft.
I thought
Drone
so.
shaft.
Oh, I see the guy that... Yeah, I got the guy that was peeking us.
Mad Dog, that was cheeky.
The third tip I've got for you is more about your gunplay and not so much about your aim, and that is changing your position. A common mistake I see a lot of people make is staying still and holding the same angle repeatedly. If you're holding an angle and the enemy is doing the same and they know you're there and they keep quick peeking you, mix it up, change your stance and crouch. They won't expect you to do it, and unless they are Blackbeard, you'll be able to pick them off. This is simple yet very effective, and most people tend to be very stubborn and peek the same spot over and over again, like I mentioned. Moving a little bit left or right and changing your stance, or just moving to the next piece of cover and closing the gap whilst they're moving away to reload, can be enough to throw them off guard and bag you a kill. And lastly is control sensitivity. And I'm talking strictly about consoles here because I don't play on PC, never have, and so I don't think I can really talk about mouse sensitivity and DPI. But I guess you can carry over some tips I give in this video and implement what I'm generally trying to get across. But what I want you to get out of your head is a thought that you aren't a good player, or you're just less effective if you're not using a high sensitivity. And this is a weird mindset that people get into, and a way of thinking that I've seen people use since the Modern Warfare 2 days, where I was just a young whippersnapper and people would be surprised if you weren't using the highest sensitivity. Use what you're comfortable with. What you don't want to be doing is overextending your aim, and what you don't want to be doing as well is finding yourself not being able to move your aim quick enough to the target, or not being able to turn quick enough when you hear someone behind you. There is no bad sensitivity to use. There is a sensitivity that's too fast and there's a sensitivity that's too slow, but that depends on who you are. It's all preference and what you're comfortable with. If you find yourself overextending when trying to move your aim onto a target, and by overextending I mean your aim flies past where you want to aim, then lower your sensitivity. And then the same goes for increasing your sensitivity if you find yourself not being able to turn quick enough. There's also a setting known as the stick dead zone, and this can be adjusted for both left and right sticks separately. Now, I myself find that Siege is a bit clunky on console, so I've increased my dead zone to 15 on both my left and right stick, so I have to push the sticks a bit more to make those small movements, because with a lower dead zone I found I was moving too much, or I find myself adjusting my aim a lot when I'm trying to make those small movements when looking through windows and doorways. But that's all for today, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Sorry if I sound like I was rushing. I have to go out soon, and I had to retake this video so many times earlier, and then the file corrupted itself. So this is actually my second time recording this after doing loads and loads of retakes, so apologies if it sounds rushed. But if you did enjoy the video, please leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if you had any suggestions for another video you'd like me to make, and please let me know if you've had any success with the tips I've given you today. And subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content, and I'll see you in the next one. I have the dirtiest spot on Rook.
What the fuck, Dan? Outside, it's Jaeger. I lit him up a bit. He's down, he's down, he's down.
Oh, Dan, you should have seen this spot. Look at this.